Imagine this. You wake up, grab your phone, open your bank app, and there it is. 6 figures staring back at you. Now here's the crazy part. You didn't inherit money. You didn't win the lottery. You didn't have rich parents funding your lifestyle. In fact, you started with just $100. Sounds impossible, right? But what if I told you that's exactly what Harry did? And in the next 15 minutes, I'll break down the exact steps he followed so you can do it too. Before you roll your eyes and think, this is just another get-rich-quick scam, let me be clear. Most people will never turn $100 into $100,000. Not because they can't, but because they make one crucial mistake that kills their chances before they even begin. And if you don't know what that mistake is, odds are you're already making it. But don't worry, I'll reveal it soon. Just make sure you stick around, because by the time this video ends, you'll have a step-by-step blueprint that could change your financial future forever. Oh, and before we get started, quick question. If I handed you $100 right now, what's the first thing you'd do with it? Be honest. Would you? A, buy something fun, maybe new clothes, fast food, or the latest gadget. B, save it, because you're trying to be responsible, even though your savings barely grow. C, try to invest it, but have no idea where to start. If you answered A or B, you're like 90% of people. And that's exactly why most people never get rich. They either spend without thinking, or they save without a plan. And let's be real, saving alone will never make you wealthy. And if you answered C, let me ask you, do you actually have a strategy, or are you just hoping to figure it out along the way? Because hope is not a financial plan. Now, Harry was just like you. He wasn't some finance expert. He didn't have special connections. He was just a regular guy. Except for one thing. Instead of treating his $100 like just another expense, he treated it like an opportunity. And that single mindset shift made all the difference. What he did next took him from broke to financially free. And the best part? You can do the same if you follow these exact steps. But before I reveal them, let me show you where most people go wrong. Because chances are you're making this mistake right now without even realizing it. Harry was drowning in student loans. Every month, his paycheck would come in. And before he even had a chance to enjoy it, it was gone. Rent, bills, groceries. Sound familiar? He hated his 9-to-5 job. The long hours, the stress, the feeling of being stuck in a never-ending cycle. No matter how hard he worked, his bank balance never seemed to grow. At this point, most people do one of two things. They accept it. They tell themselves, this is just how life is. Or they give up and start blaming the system, the government, or the economy. But Harry, he did something different. Instead of complaining or accepting defeat, he made a choice to turn things around, no matter what. Here's what he did. First, he realized that if he wanted different results, he had to start thinking differently, and that meant understanding one key principle. Money doesn't grow by accident, it grows by design. So he made a rule. Every dollar he had would be used as a tool to create more money. And no, that didn't mean dumping it all into the stock market or chasing some crypto hype. It meant learning, experimenting, and making calculated moves. He started small, really small. He took that $100 and looked for the highest possible return. His first move? Flipping. He found an old pair of sneakers on Facebook Marketplace, bought them for $80, cleaned them up, and sold them for $150. Just like that, he doubled his money. Now let's pause here, because this is where most people go wrong. The average person would take that $150 and go out for a nice dinner or buy something they don't need. But Harry, he reinvested every single dollar back into the business. He did this again and again and again. Flipping sneakers turned into flipping electronics. Then flipping electronics turned into drop shipping. Drop shipping led him to online freelancing. and that led him to building a fully automated digital business. This process took time. It wasn't overnight. There were failures, mistakes, and setbacks. But every time he made money, he didn't spend it. He scaled it. $100 turned into $500. $500 into $5,000. $5,000 into $50,000, and eventually over $100,000. Now you might be thinking, that sounds great, but will this work for me? And the answer is yes, if you follow the same principles. Because what made Harry rich wasn't the specific business he chose. It was the strategy behind it. Here are the 3 golden rules that made him successful. 1. Invest in knowledge before assets. He spent his first profits learning skills, not buying luxuries. 2. Pick a scalable income stream. He didn't chase trends. He built businesses that could grow. 3. Reinvest, reinvest, reinvest. Instead of spending his profits, he used them to build even bigger income streams. Now, you have a choice. You can either take this knowledge, act on it, and start your journey today. Or you can ignore it, stay where you are, and wonder what if a year from now. What's it gonna be? But wait, this isn't the full story. The real challenge isn't starting. It's knowing when to take risks and when to play safe. And if you're serious about mastering that, then you need to watch this next video on the top 5 financial mistakes that keep you poor. Click here and I'll see you there.